Hi there. According to the Western magical tradition and to the Gnostic tradition, I am a Hermetic failure, and possibly even a Gnostic failure, although I'll come on to that in a minute. So, why am I a Hermetic failure? Well, it all starts with the brain, and the brain is a mechanical device. It's a bio machine. It's a biocomputer of great sophistication, but it is a material thing. And my brain is all to pot. Brain chemicals are not behaving properly and have for years. And so I have to be on antidepressants and I have to be on other drugs that make me peaceful and calm. Happy pills, if you like. And that's it. Gonna have to be on them for the rest of my life. Like somebody who's got, diabetes and has to have insulin. So it's a physical thing, and you may say, where is the soul in all this? I still think you can have a soul, but it is more or less a sort of ghost in the machine kind of idea, I think, because the machine is faulty. In any case, if the machine is faulty, perhaps soul realization is not actually possible for me, not according to the Hermetic tradition, because my reason apparently is arrogantly unbalanced, and I rely on my reason, to get me by, and reason alone is not enough. It sure isn't enough, obviously, with my brain. It has to have the chemicals restored to balance in order for me to have any thoughts at all. I think, therefore I am, sort of thing. But anyway, so I have arrogant intellectual ideas, and I like the sound of my own voice. And I also like to write things down, because I can write, basically. I have a little bit of skill in writing, which is ego again, so it's pure ego. Of course, obviously, my emotions are completely unbalanced. I live in a world of unbalanced emotionalism. That is absolutely true. And because of this, there are issues of ego and self-destructive emotions and all the rest of it, low self-esteem and all this kind of stuff. So my emotions totally cloud my mind, so that I'm not actually able to develop any intuitive part of my mind. My intuitive mind is broken. It's treacherous. It tells me lies. It tells me all sorts of stuff which is nonsense. It is totally. I mean, the rationality of my intuition is not balanced by the rationality of my mind, or the balance, or the stability of my emotions. So it means I can't develop intuition. And this means, in fact, that I'm not a spiritual person, according to the Hermetic model. I'm a total Hermetic failure, in fact, actually. And I can't be a spiritual person, which, of course, then means, because I'm not a spiritual person, that my mind is even worse, even sort of more clouded than it was before. My brain chemistry, being unspiritual, is destroyed and wrecked by the fact that I haven't developed a spirituality at all after 40 years of trying, So that means that, according to the Hermetic tradition, the Western magical tradition, I'm pretty much a hopeless case, really, as far as initiation or starting anything, and certainly finishing anything. I can't start and I can't finish. And if I was to start, I certainly couldn't see it through, because my emotions would upset me, and my mind would become full of ego, and my brain chemistry would unstabilize and destabilize, rather. So it's rather ghastly, really. So what am I actually left with? Well, I am left with faith. Okay, and faith is something which you develop. You are waiting on the King. You are waiting on the return of the King. You are waiting for salvation. Okay, you are not doing anything to speed salvation up. or even to prepare for salvation. I can't, can I? Because I've got no spirituality. Because I haven't got a proper balanced emotions or balanced reason. I haven't got brain chemistry to handle it. The vessel is cracked, the brain vessel is cracked, and I can't develop any intuition. I can't develop the sort of irrationality which is controlled irrationality, controlled irrationality. You have to understand that to gain insight into the spiritual world. So I have to wait. I have to develop my faith. I have to develop that when I close my eyes, I will see something. That when I quieten my mind, if I ever can, I will know something. I have to develop faith that when I die, something will happen at death that will transport me out of this world of the demiurge and to a better place, literally a better place, a place where I am spiritual, where my brain chemistry doesn't count, where I don't need reason, where my emotions are serene, and my intuition is tuned to the nth degree, so that I become a spiritual person de facto. But this can only come from the grace of God. This can only come from the salvation, the power of salvation of God. It can't come from the Hermetic training. It can't come from some kind of alchemical transformation of my mind, because as you can see, my mind is destroyed. My mind is wrecked. I mean, I don't have any tools. All the tools are broken in the toolbox, and the toolbox is broken, right? So this is where, this is where Hermeticism comes really completely delula and unstuck, really, and where Orthodox faith, Orthodox religious faith, really comes into its own, because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're mentally ill. It doesn't matter if you're disabled. It doesn't matter if you're socially disadvantaged. It doesn't matter what's happened to you in the past, in your childhood or something like that. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is that you literally wait for God's hand to come into your life. And you have, you try to, the only thing you need to cultivate really is patience, in a way. You just have to have patience and faith that this will be so, and that because it says in the scripture, it is true. If God has said it, it's going to be true. That's the covenant. That's covenant to the people. And it doesn't matter what you are, who you are. It doesn't matter what you're afflicted with. You will come to the fullness of heaven in the twinkling of an eye. At death, or even experience something of it now, and no one can take that away from you. So there's no need to train hermetically. There's no need to go on some mystics course. There really isn't any reason to learn anything about mysticism at all. There's nothing to learn. All the scriptures and everything, it's just gobbledygook, really. It really doesn't matter. And anyway, if you're an unstable person like me, it's probably better you don't have anything to do with magic whatsoever, because you're going to go insane by using magic or hermetic tradition in any shape or form. In fact, if you dabble in it, you're just going to go mad and kill somebody or kill yourself. So basically, I'd like to take all my hermetic books and destroy them. I like to bury them. I like to burn them. I like to tear them into little pieces and throw them into the four winds, and I like to throw them into the sea or into a river, because really my hermetic books are absolutely of no use to me anyway. They might be use to you because you're a superior person and you have more mental stability and intelligence than I have. But I certainly can't do it, and I don't see why I should try. But I've been trying all my life and failing. So why bother to fail anymore? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Get rid of ambition, please. Get rid of all thought of being accepted by the Hermetic community, because obviously I'm bad news. I don't have anything to. I don't fit into any community. I don't fit into a society at all in any shape or form. I never have. I never will. I've only worked about literally 12 years of my life, and the rest of the time I've been too insane to do any work. So, so I don't know why I bother with the Hermetic tradition anyway. It's just not for me, and I would suggest it's not for most people. For most people are not geared up for this. And yet most people will be saved. And I don't know what will happen to the Hermetic few, the elite of the magical tradition. I have really no idea what will happen to them. I suggest that a lot of them will be turned insane by it. But I mean, one hopes not. One hopes that these people are sort of are right to make themselves out to be superior to me. And I hope they are, basically, because they damn well need to be. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so that's my little discourse on the Hermetic tradition, and my total lack of faith in that, and the need to cultivate faith in something real, like God,